Hi everyone, welcome back to the concluding part of our interview with Nigerian's Awolowo. It promises to be exciting, informative, and inspiring. As always, sit tight. What does the future hold for Distrifood? Where do you see the brand in the next 5 years?
Okay, well, for Distrifoods Nigeria, we are hopeful that from next year, our base of smallholder farmers will go to 600, focusing more on women-led agribusinesses as in women-led farmers, smallholder farmers. We are presently working on export of our products to, we have a number of Nigerians who are exporting Nigerian products to the EU, Australia, and UK. So we're presently talking with them. I think by maybe next week, we should be done with our NEPC certification, the export license, then we can start exploring if whether by ourselves or by those companies.
Okay.
Our metric ton, we are taking a look at 30 metric ton weekly as from January next year. Then, like I mentioned earlier, we also want to do more into the groundnut value chain by extending into the groundnut peanut oil, fortified peanut oil. The peanut oil fortified vitamin A, ADE. So AD3. So we are also considering that. Presently now we have a market presence in 20 states. So we are also considering expanding our market presence beyond the 20 states and now having a mass market unit of the product. We don't have a mass market unit of the product right now. The list of the products is $1, which is over 400 naira. So maybe by next year, anyhow, inflation has been a major problem. January this year, wheat flour 50 kg was 10,400. As at a few days ago, last week Friday, it's now 20,600. So it's a very wide margin. Okay, so those are the things that really affect us considering a mass market unit for the product. We want, because affordability will be driven by accessibility. Once the product is available in the mass market unit, people can afford it. But it's been a very big challenge. But we'll see what we can do. Maybe a 20 naira pack next year if inflation allows us to do that. Right now, I can't say we are part of the first 50 processors in Nigeria, but maybe by 2025 we should be able to do that.
Okay, great.
One of the first 50.
Yeah, we're rooting for you. You talked about wealth creation to small farm holders, which I think is very important. You know, trying to harness that value chain of this, making sure that you can access local produce. I think it's very important. I've spoken to a few people in the agri space. So, and that's an industry that the world is paying attention to. I mean, when you hear the news about food shortage because of climate and all these problems, if you're a smart person, you know that agri is somewhere you have to be and you need to focus on. So the era of us importing everything is ridiculous. So when you encourage small farmers, you're putting money back to the people, and that's important.
It's a system.
Yeah. So when you talk about that, you're going to focus also on women who are in the agri space. I think that's really interesting. Thank you.
Okay. If I can add, personally, since we began processing peanuts in commercial quantity, we have consistently been buying from smallholder farmers. We don't buy through the aggregators. We buy directly, and I can say 95% of people who buy from are women. Yeah. Because sometimes because of people also want to do, some people store and they might pay, but most of the women they don't usually have what it takes to store for long. So we always, and the prices are fixed, so we always make sure we buy from them first. It is when we are taking up or have mopped up their produce that we can now start considering any other person who has brought to the market, who is not part of the vulnerable women.
Yeah, the storage is a big problem back home.
Yes, it is. One, the local government is not doing much. There is a Plateau State PADP, Plateau State Agricultural Development Program. I'm not sure they're also doing anything about that. So, and the cost of storage, good storage techniques. For instance, this zero fly bag, I think is around 650 now, 650 but the sack to store. So how many women will be able to afford 650 naira want to store? That's around 60 to 70 kg. So for each sack. Now the housing, the warehousing, do they have access to a warehouse?
To preserve
So
those.
those are the basic challenges. Those are the basic challenges. I think the government should do more than what is obtainable from the local government, even the village heads, the men. One thing we've noticed is that they are not encouraging the women to be self-reliant. They want the women to be dependent. And that's why more men are dying in their 50s in Nigeria. When you don't empower a woman, your wife or the woman around you, who easily can multiply things, you tend to want to take up, yeah, I'm the breadwinner. You will shut down your 50s and the woman will outlive you. But when you empower the woman helps you share the load, and she does even more because she can manage the stress than you. So the women are not, the men rather, are not willing to invest in these women to be self-reliant. And these people have the entrepreneurial skills.
Yeah.
They have. Yeah. So if men are willing to invest in them, a lot of things will change. Even food security will be more assured. Yeah. Food security in Nigeria will be more assured.
You look out for one of our guests that's going to be coming on. He's focused on the storage space, so I hope you catch up on that video when it comes up. So maybe you can do some partnership with him. What we're just talking about brings me to my next question. When we talk about what, if you had a word for the Nigerian government or the Nigerian people, what would it be? That's to agri in this space and processing industry, agri.
It's been said and iterated over a while. I think access to finance is a major problem in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Access to finance. The government need to do more than they are doing. People who have the access to the finance seems to be political businessmen who take the money and they go to do other things. Government needs to focus on manufacturing. To build Nigeria, to industrialize Nigeria, manufacturing plays a major role. Yeah, so if the government wants to do something tangible, they should heavily invest in manufacturing firms, provide them access to loan. Take a look at what they are doing and how they've been able to create a market for their products. Once they have a tangible market and it's increasing, such ones should be, because they will be the ones to employ people. They will be the ones to also empower those who they are buying raw materials from. Agri space is a big one. So if the Nigerian government can focus more on the agri space, providing funds for agro-processors with verifiable regulatory certification for their products and good market traction. If they can't do that, it will help the Nigerian government. It will help the people with respect to employment. It will help drop down inflation, and it will also help assure food security, because when food are processed and people can access it, then there will be food security. It will reduce post-harvest loss. Now, for the Nigerian people, I'm aware that I don't know if the statistics is right, but I really can't recall. But like over less than 20% of people who jam past. People still want to get university education, and people have failed to understand the essence, the role for tertiary education. Tertiary education is not for you to go get and come and be receiving salary. People who did that earlier because there were opportunities, and they are the ones that have created the mess we are in now by blocking it and embezzling the whole funds. So if you have access to university education today, use it to hone a skill. The skill will give you money. Your university education only provides you access to, let me use this word, a social class. Mm-hmm. You meet people who are higher up in the ladder than the people you have met before, who will be able to, like, oh, this product is 500 naira, and they will not say, well, bring it. And they will not start saying, oh, no, I can only pay 200 naira. So people need to understand that university education should empower you to pay a closer look to your environment and see, okay, these are the challenges my environment has. How can I make money from these challenges? How can I turn these challenges to money? What problem can I solve for my immediate environment that would help me employ people, and all of us can live an enviable life? So that's just it. The politicians need to do more than what they are doing, but we keep saying it, but we don't know. One day they listen.
Well said. But when we talk about government support, are we talking about at state level, local level, federal level? Where's the impact? Where can they make the most impact?
I think the local governments themselves are not doing well. I was supposed to draw a proposal for someone in government, but let me just share. My focus is in each state, there are produces they have in that agri-produce they have in that state that is in that the market for it exists in Nigeria. Now, each state should identify the produces they have to sell. Each local government should also identify that. Each senatorial district should have a processing hub for those produce. It is responsibility of whether it is the senator or the government to talk to the big stores. You see, we keep talking about market access, and anywhere we have this meeting about market access, the big modern trade channels are not there. The big stores are not there. Get the procurement officers of the big stores, bring them to the table and tell them, from my state, these are the NAFDAC registered products from my state. And I can assure you that these products, all year round supply is and these are the prices. We want you to help us market these products in your stores, even if it is on sales or return net 40 or net 30 days, we will do. If they can do that, it will help. But the local governments are not willing. I think they are only concerned about collecting the allocation and sharing the allocation. Nobody is talking about the agribusiness space in their environment where farmers are working, what produce they can buy off, what produce they can process, and it will be labeled. And that's what happens abroad.
Yeah.
You see basmati rice, those produce are named after those regions, and they are doing tangibly well for themselves. The private sector needs to come in, but it is when the government has taken the lead that the private sector understand how these guys are not serious, we cannot step into, because the risk for a private investor is high when the government is not willing to do anything. The risk is high, nobody has that money to put. So if the government is willing to take a step further, it will assure investors that, oh, you can come in, we are willing to do something, and it will help. So each of the local governments, the state, the federal government, we keep saying, the local government and the state government need to buckle up. There is a lot they can do for their state, for their people. I don't know, it's now beyond cultivation. We should look beyond cultivation, because you can't cultivate tomato and expect that you can store tomato for 5 days. You know the cold chain is expensive. So why are you not considering turning it into a puree and having it bottled? You immediately you harvest, you turn it, you bottle it. This is shelf stable for 12 months.
Yeah, that's correct.
So if the state government can focus on that, it will help. They should take their focus out of, as they are farming, if the farming capacity that the state has invested in is 90%, the state must do more to have up to 50% processing capacity for those things. If they can do that, they will employ people to process it. They will employ people to sell it. So it's a ripple effect. You are employing people, you are creating money. You are creating, as you add value, you make more money.
You're very correct. Something that just came to my mind: people who are looking, like young entrepreneurs who are looking to be part of the association as an executive, how can they tap into what the association has to offer? How can they connect? Or because sometimes people say, I have this business, I don't know what to do. How do they find information about how to be part of the association and how to grow and how to tap into the support that your association provides?
Okay, the Nigerian Association of Small Scale Industrialists has its national secretariat in Abuja, the White Building. So if we have state chapters in the states, we have chapters in the states, in Lagos, in everywhere in all the states. Then we have local coordinators for the local governments. So any state you are, you can get to your local government and ask for the NASI coordinator. Now, I can also drop my number, then I can link them up to the state chapter chairman, then they can get the form. Okay. I don't have an idea of how much the form is right now. I need to call the office, but I think the last year it was around 9,000. Okay. Now, what NASI is it's what do you call it? It's an NGO focusing on MSMEs, small and medium businesses, and providing support for them to expand. Now, in Nigeria today, NASI has Enterprise Development Institute in over 10 states, where we train entrepreneurs and we also help them access funds from the New Microfinance Bank. That this is besides other several trainings that we organize and MSME fairs, which though the MSME fairs helps bring the products to the fore. People come to know your products, come to know you. Then the several other trainings that we also organize to provide support to the women-led businesses, to provide support to other businesses, to help them see, okay, for instance, in Lagos and Plateau and some other states, we have an ongoing understanding with NAFDAC. So we can also help you process regulatory certification for your products, even though you have a small space. So there is also this collaboration within members where they can provide contract manufacturing support for you, for your own business. So you may not need to go and start looking for money to rent a big factory or get equipment. They will provide that for you because you are a member of the association, and you can then have your product license and be manufacturing from that shared facility. We are hopeful of other things you can be able to do to also provide support for businesses. For instance, we're focusing on the Northeast states now. We're trying to finish up a project, what do you call it? Can I call it documentation to provide support to some agri-businesses in the Northeast, in the 4 states from the Northeast zone.
Great, thank you. Very insightful conversation with you. Just before we go, any advice for young entrepreneurs, home and abroad?
Nigerian entrepreneurs, I need to tell you that the journey is not easy. So don't expect people to tell you are doing great, you are doing great. If you are into full space, you need to first be sure of what you have by getting either, if you don't have money to get your NIVAC license, you need to take your product to a certified IPAN lab, that's Institute of Public Analysis of Nigeria. Let them analyze your products for you, and you get to understand what your products tend to offer the consumer. That is a selling point. And from there, it builds your trust in your own products, and you can go around to market it. Then you can now go ahead and start doing your NAFDAC certification.
Sorry, what did you call it? What did you call
IPAN.
it? IPAN, okay.
Yeah, the Institute of Public Analysis of Nigeria. They are the ones that registered certified laboratories who can analyze the product, whether once it's agri products, whether it is personal products or household product or food product, they will analyze it. From there, you know how safe and every other detail you need to know about the product. Now, if family and friends should do their best to support businesses, they should do their best because they are the first call for these young entrepreneurs. No bank wants to invest in new entrants. It's a difficult thing for them. It's people's money, and government too. I think the local government and the state government should also focus on business plan competition to support these entrepreneurs. Nothing stops a local government from giving out 1 million naira every year. That is 100,000 naira to 10 businesses. Yes. Go look for people who could handle it. They do the business plan competition. People apply, and you support the businesses. Then the state government can now take, okay, we will do 1 million for 10 or 20 people. If they can do that, that initial grant support will help a lot of businesses. Yes, it will ease the step. For instance, packaging material is expensive. It's dollar-based. It's not something we have in Nigeria. So and that is where the problem lies with all these small businesses, struggling to make it work, and nobody seems to understand the pain you have. But consistency will take you to the destination. I can tell you that. So I want them to be consistent in whatever they are doing. Forget about part-time. Focus on it. If you have a job you are doing right now, make sure your business is along the side as you are doing it. In the next 5 years, it will not be where you are. It will not be where it is because you have been doing it consistently for the next 5 years. So the future is bright. They should be consistent in whatever and be focused. It will work out well. My name is Awolowo Endurance. My hustle is manufacturing nutrified snack products based in Nigeria. What's your hustle?
That was Endurance Awolowo, the CEO, founder of Distrifoods Nigeria. Very intelligent, bright young man. We want to commend him for what he's doing. It's important to support locally grown produce, and he's doing just that and supporting those who are disadvantaged in our society. We hope that you've learned 1 or 2 things from him. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms, all at Niger Hustle. Watch out for this video when it comes out, probably be in 2 parts. But whatever it is, we keep bringing you intelligent, smart, motivating, inspiring guests every week to encourage that ideas to keep your dreams alive so that you see what other people are doing and you're encouraged to do the same and to just hang in there. Thank you for staying tuned with us. Thank you for all your subscriptions and all your likes. We enjoy doing this with you, and we hope we can bring more and more people that will inspire the Nigerian spirit of hustling in you. So like we always say, what's your hustle?